Hi everybody, this is Krista again. Welcome back to Burn Bright. Today I'm going to talk about Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This book was published on August 7th of 2012 by Bloomsbury Children's. After serving about a year of hard labor in the salt mines of Dover for her crimes, 18-year-old assassin Shelina is dragged before the Crown Prince. Prince Dorian offers her freedom on one condition. She must act as his champion in a competition to find a new royal assassin. Her opponents are men, thieves, and assassins and warriors from across the empire. Each is a sponsored member by the King's Council. If she beats her opponents in a series of elimination, she'll serve the kingdom for 3 years, and then she's granted her freedom. Shelina finds her training sessions with Captain of the Guard Westfall challenging and exhilarating, but she's bored stiff by court life. Things get a little more interesting when the prince starts to show interest in her, but it's the gruff Captain Westfall who seems to understand her the best. Then one of the other contestants turns up dead, quickly followed by another, and Shelina figure out who the killer is before she becomes a victim. In the beginning of the story, we see Shelina. She's getting led by the royal guard out of the salt mines, where she has been working as a slave for the last year. She ends up being presented to Prince Dorian, and she's being led there in shackles. She was originally taken to the salt mines for her actions as a hired assassin for killing people, and she was picked on and brutally whipped and abused while she was in the salt mines working as a slave. Most of the slaves really didn't last that long, maybe even a month, but she had been there for a full year. So that really does kind of get the reader to know Shelina as a very strong-willed person. As she's being taken to the kingdom and the king to participate in the competition, in the battle to become lead assassin for the king, we hear stories of magic and fairies, and they have to travel through the forest, and it's all very fairy tale-like until they get to the castle. She also tells stories of how she was whipped and tortured in the salt mines. Being taken to the castle and competing, it might guarantee her freedom if she wins. She's given room and board in the castle, but her door is always still on constant guard, as well as the other participants, so that she cannot escape. They give her a different name to go by, and she is dressed up in the fanciest of clothes and wears the king's mark on her clothing. She spends her spare time walking the castle, overhearing gossip about her, and why she's getting treated better than the others, because the crown prince fancies her. But her true identity is always kept from the court. We don't get to see the king very often in this book, but Shelina really despises him. Throughout the competition, the king always keeps the right to execute anybody at any will of time that he wants. Shelina goes through a lot of training sessions with Chell, and she is told that she needs to go unnoticed until they get to the end of the competition, to play the middle ground and not stick out. There are 23 competitors total, but there can only be one champion. She does have the advantage of having Chael as her trainer. After a year being working in the salt mine, she kind of has to trade harder than the other competitors. The running and the training and the constant work does kind of take a toll on her body. So this book introduces to us some aspects of magic. Another fun part of it is that there's dark and secret passages and unknown escape ways that she gets to go through. And it's just kind of really a fairy tale kind of fantasy story that you can really get wrapped up in. The main character really does grow on you, and she is very badass, and as she gets through her training and building her muscles, you really, can see her skills developing more. Well, obviously, she's already very highly skilled assassin, but we get to see her kind of retrain. We get to go along with her in her training sessions and see how built she can get, and her muscle tones and all of this really comes out in the story, and she really becomes a badass. So if you really like adventure, fantasy, magic, fairy tale kind of feel to it, this is one that you're going to want to check out. Shelina is one of those characters that you really can grow to love. She is A little hard to like at the beginning, but as her story starts unraveling, you really do root for her in the end, and that's a really great story that you can feel connected to that. And a little hint of romance as well as building friendships. So thanks for watching again. This is Krista for Burn Bright. I'll see you later. Bye.